this lesson, we're going to be talking about using substitution to solve systems of linear equations. And the steps in doing that is we solve one equation for a variable, and then we substitute that into the other equation, and we solve for that variable. And then once we find the variable, we substitute back in to one of the originals to solve for the other variable. Now let me show you how that works. So first of all, we have our equations. We want to choose the equation that has a term with a coefficient of 1. So we write x plus 2y equals 18. And we want to get the x by itself. And that's just a one-step problem for us to do that. And what I like to do is circle what x is equal to. So now, in the other equation, what we're going to do is instead of the x in the other equation, we're going to substitute in what x is equal to. So we write the other equation, but again, we substitute in for what x equals minus 2y plus 18. Write out the whole equation. And then we solve. Now you see we only have one variable, so we'll be able to solve for it. So first we'll distribute. Now we need to combine like terms, so negative 6 and negative 4 would give us a negative 10y plus 54 equals 9. And now we want to get the y term by itself, so we subtract 54. So negative 10y equals negative 45. Divide both sides by negative 10. So y equals a positive 4.5. So there is one of our answers right there, y equals 4.5. Now to find then the other variable, x, we substitute this back in. Now you can substitute into this equation, into this one, but the easiest is to substitute here because this is already solved for x. So x would equal negative 2 times 4.5 plus 18. So that would be negative 9 plus 18, which is 9. So x equals 9. And you can substitute those back in, and you will see that those work in both equations. Here's another example. So we want to choose the second equation to work with because it has a 1y. So we want to get y by itself, so we will subtract 2x from both sides. So y equals minus 2x plus 10. So I'm going to circle that. So that's what y equals. In the first equation then, that I didn't mess with, instead of that y, I will substitute in negative 2x plus 10. And that equals 20. So you write the whole equation, but instead of y, we do our substitution. Now we will distribute and simplify. And combine like terms. Now we need to isolate our variable term. And that equals negative 20, and divide both sides by negative 5. So x equals 4. So there is one of the answers. And now we need to substitute that back in to find y, and again, we'll go back to where we already solved for y. So y equals negative 2 times 4 plus 10. That would be negative 8 plus 10, which is 2. And again, if you substitute those back into the equations, you'll see that you get true statements. Here's one more. X plus 3y equals 5. And I'm going to write this like this. So first, get the x by itself. And I like to circle it. And then we solved for x here, and so in the other equation, instead of the x, we will substitute in. All right, and now we will distribute. At this point, we combine like terms and isolate the variable term, so we'll add 10. And divide by 2, so we're going to end up with a fraction, or we can write that as 2.5. And now we'll substitute back in right here, so we have 5 minus 3 times 2.5. So that would be 5 minus 7.5, which would be a negative 2.5. So that's what x equals. So those are our solutions. Here we have a word problem. It says an online music company offers 15 downloads for $19.75 and 40 downloads for $43.50. Each price includes the same one-time registration fee. What is the cost of each download and the registration fee? So we're looking for the cost of the download and of the registration fee. So the first situation they tell us is that you can get 15 downloads, so 15 times the cost of the download, plus you have to pay a registration fee, and that will cost you $19.75. And in the other situation, you get 40 downloads, plus the registration fee, and that one costs $43.50. Now, using substitution, we need to solve one of the equations for a variable. And so either of these are, you have a plain r in either one, so it doesn't matter which one you choose to work with. So let's just solve for r here. So then r equals minus 40d plus 43.50. So that's what r is equal to in the second equation. So instead of r in the first equation, we will substitute. So we have 15d plus, that is minus 40d plus 43.50 equals 19.75. Now we will combine like terms. We have 15d minus 40, so that's a negative 25d plus 43.50 equals 19.75. And so we subtract. So you have negative 25d equals, let me just double check here. A negative 23.75. And if we divide both sides by negative 25, we find that D is equal to 95 cents. So the cost of each download is 95 cents. To find the registration fee, we will substitute in. So R equals negative 40 times 0.95 plus 43.50. And when we work that out, we get 550. So that's the registration fee. And that's it for this lesson. Let me know if you have any questions. Thanks for watching.